How goes it, everybody? Spike Daddy here, and I'm going to give a quick little, I guess, my first little review on Diablo 2 Resurrected and the beta. Of course, I didn't get invited to the technical alpha. That was mainly for Mr. Llama SC, Riker, and of course all the other big Diablo kind of friends of Blizzard, basically. And for those lucky ones that got picked to jump in. Now, to give a bit of background, I know you guys normally know me for 7 Days to Die, for Ark Survival Evolved, but before those days, those good old days of survival games, and before I actually gave Minecraft a good old try, I was a Diablo 1 and 2 enthusiast, to say the least. I could comfortably say that I probably have well over 20 to 25,000 hours logged onto Diablo 2, including the expansion as a whole, if not possibly more. I've played this game from the day of release till Diablo 3 dropped, and then after we realized how much of a mess Diablo 3 essentially was, I still went back to Diablo 2 and played that for at least a couple more years before Blizzard got their stuff straight as far as Diablo 3 goes. Basically, when Loot 2.0 dropped for Diablo 3 in their big update, that's when I went back to Diablo 3, essentially. Now, that doesn't mean I didn't play it. I did play it, but it wasn't as in-depth playing like I did when Loot 2.0 dropped. I was there for the auction house and all that crap. Anyways, aside from that, Diablo 2, Lord of Destruction, I played the crap out of it. Everything from doing, Bale runs to cow levels to, Chaos Sanctuary runs, Magic Find runs 24/7 from the moment I got home from school or the moment that I got back from work or whatever time I had available in that was basically spent on this game. With that being said, I'm pretty comfortable in judging the beta. Now, from what I've seen, the overall, let's pop into a game real quick here. I just got my sorceress to Act 2 and beat Radamant. I played the Druid on stream. You guys might have caught it. I played it on stream up until we hit Act 2. Then I stopped it, and then the next day I didn't stream anything. Instead, I wanted to check out the Paladin without, having to pay attention to stream and all that stuff like that. So I went through and played. As you can see, my Paladin was pretty high level. That's because the Leaf Ruin Word on his staff, which gives, +3 to all fire skills, which I can illustrate here. I have another one here for when my sorceress hits level 19. +3 to fire skills, the fire damage, the mana after each kill. Those are all benefits of a holy fire paladin. And since we can only go up to Act 2 normal, there's no point of going, with a full-blown Zealer. It takes too long. This, of course, is going to be a fire sorceress, even though I did happen to nab a relatively nice, rare orb in that from my ventures of magic finding, basically just kind of grinding out tomb levels with my paladin. So I'm kind of not wanting to get rid of it, especially since I've got a really good 30-20 shield for black rating. But let's go over some of the biggest changes in beta, or in the Resurrected, just the remaster in general. As you noticed, personal stash I believe it's bigger. And you have shared stashes, which is phenomenal. No more muling back and forth when you can just share it with another character. Now, with that being said, as you can see, I have a lot of crap in here. And this is only Act 1, Act 2. Now, granted, once you get to a certain level in that, you won't be keeping all these chipped diamonds and topazes and amethysts and crap like that. And the lower ruin words in that, you might only keep 1 or 2 of them instead of hoarding them like I essentially have been doing. I've made multiple stealths. I've made multiple leaves. There's one on my druid. I gave the ruins away in that for a leaf ruin word and a stealth ruin word to a couple buddies. So I've gone through and farmed quite a substantial amount, plus keeping all the jewels, of course, just for, well, you never know. Like, I found this. I was going to make a barbarian, but I don't think I'm going to have enough time because I kind of want to try out the Amazon, because the Amazon and the barbarian were my biggest ones, of course, but everybody had a hammered in. Everybody had a sorceress in that. So outside of those two, the biggest characters that I would play, of course, was a Javazan as well as a Whirlwind Barb. So I was hoping to kind of give that a try. Of course, you really can't hit level 30. You can, but you got to grind and grind and grind and grind. I've got a lot of hours already on the Paladin, and he's only like level 28 or something like that, or 27. So likelihood of getting level 30 for Whirlwind on the Barbarian isn't going to happen. Plus, you'd only have 1 point into it. It'd be kind of pointless. So the stash and the shared stash with characters is absolutely a great add-on. It helps the whole aspect of having to. So back in the day, and that what you'd have to do is you either had to have a buddy that was trusted, a buddy that not just some random jump into a game. Hey, can you help me mule some stuff over to my other account? And like, yeah, sure. You drop the stuff, they pick it all up, and then they leave, and then you're screwed. So you'd have to make sure a friend was on for one. So for example, if this right here's my level 80 sorceress, and I'm magic finding, and I finally find the Shaco, I finally find the Harlequin Shaco, right? Now people pronounce that differently. That's how I pronounce it. Okay, deal with it. So now I want to transfer that over to my my Javazon, right, for a better helm, or I want to transfer that over to my Hammerden or something like that because I finally found one. Well, I would have to get in touch with one of my buddies or wait for one of my buddies to get online and then transfer it over. Well, now you just throw it in your shared stash, log out, log in as that character, and voila, there it is. Even Gold shares 3 separate ones, which is going to be really nice for sorting stuff as well, in my opinion. So that's a big perk. First and foremost, let's also talk about just the looks. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to Classic. Here's what Classic essentially looked. This is Classic. It still looks okay for the whole aspect of an action RPG. It's definitely dated beyond dated, even when it actually was released and that the graphics weren't exactly the greatest. It was more known for its darkness and so on and so forth. And even that was considered a little bit lackluster when compared to Diablo 1. Now, as far as the looks, for one, here's the other thing. Now, that does look, of course, similar to what I've got right now. But if I were to put on, do I have one? Oh, I don't have a regular buckler, do I? I guess I don't. You don't have a buckler, do you? That I can just buy just to show off really quick? No. But, for example, they made it to where the actual items that you find in the game are actually represented as your appearance, your look. So, for example, in that, let's go ahead and let's, well, for one, pop over. It is purple. That was one thing that the game was good with doing, was the different colors, so that's fine. However, if we go into here, there's a buckler. We'll just buy that really quick. So now, you see, it actually looks like the actual item. As soon as you go over, though, that doesn't look like the item. And that's going to be the same truth for a lot of the weapons and a lot of the appearances as far as that goes. So that's a really nice little touch, if you will. The lighting in the game, the feel of the game overall feels phenomenal. I like it. Now that I've gotten used to the character's movement a bit, I don't know if it was just because I played a good amount of Diablo 3 in that, and I was used to a little bit smoother movement, like as far as closer. See how it kind of jerks around a little bit. So there's a little bit of that going on. I don't know if that really is. Yeah, that's about it. That's how it is. So there's that. Now, as far as this goes, this beta is for the multiplayer beta. It's not single player like the technical alpha was, I believe. There's a lot of things about this that I hope they work out as far as the bugs go. For one, this world chat thing. Now, when you're in a party, as I found out last night, I was talking to one of my buddies, actually from the good old days of D2. He actually checked it out as well. We popped on. We were in the game for a while, and all of a sudden it said I left world chat, and he left world chat, but we were still in the game. We couldn't actually type to one another. We actually had to hop in Discord and actually go through and type through there, which doesn't bode well for parties and that. Not only that, but if it's your friend and they join, they automatically get put into a party. Now, that's okay to an extent. Now, if you want to hop in and just, secretly ghost them or, that sort of things like that, I want to be able to choose who I join for a party. Now, 90% of the time it's going to be fine because whenever you jump into a game with somebody that partying up with them and that, you need to do that anyways to share experience, to be able to jump in each other's waypoint or town portals and that. So that's a big plus in the looks of that. However, if you're talking about, say, for example, let's go back to the good old days of Diablo 2, Lord of Destruction, doing bail runs and people doing TPPK. Now, what TPPK is town portal player kill. Okay, so that essentially means that they need to know where you're at because they're going to be your friend for a little while. They're going to hop in there And, say it's, somebody trying to go towards the mythical level 99, he's level 95, and he's getting ready to pop to the next level in that. Well, if he dies, you lose experience. So that person, that's the TPPK player, jumps in, doing a bail run with them, shoots a bunch of enemies, stuff over to him, and then does the auto town portal hostile while the projectiles are still moving towards it and kills the person. Now, hopefully that's resolved. Hopefully that doesn't happen in the remaster, in the Resurrected version. Hopefully they've got fixes against that, but I believe that was just a macro that did that super fast. So unless they somehow stop macros from being able to be ran with Diablo 2 and that's still going to be an occurrence. So you don't necessarily want always to have the auto-invite, auto-accept to jump into a party. Outside of that, it's a great feature. I like it. Down here, it didn't really honestly take me that long to get used to the actual skill bar down here and having everything kind of moved around, of course. So if we go back to the old look, here's how it looked. That was way over there. That was way over there. These were still here, but now they just move it to the center. I'm not sure. I think it's because they wanted to keep this on the outer corners. If they did that, they would have had to stretch this out quite a ways, and it would just be a big open blank space with no visibility. So that's probably the reason why they did this. Other than that, the looks of it is great. Now, there is a couple cool features in that here. You can control-click to shift over an item. However, I did find a bug to where when you try to do that, like that right there, I'm control-clicking, there it goes. So there are small little hints of bugs here and there that are going to need to be addressed. There is definitely a bit of lag, a little latency in that with the servers. Even me running how I'm running right now, just by myself in my own game, I'm still on the servers. So it's still going to come down to how the servers are running in this case right here. With that also being said, there won't be a ladder on launch, which is okay. I would much rather them have everything fixed and everything good to go server-wise, any exploits, because you guys know exploits and all that stuff like that are probably known right now. They're hoping not to get identified until release. When release hits, that's when all those wonderful hacker people and people that know the exploits and that are going to try to exploit it to their benefit. So I'm hoping that they go through and they do this the right way. They wait about a month or so in that after the game hits, or a couple weeks after it, whenever they think they got all the exploits and that figured out, then they come out with an update, a patch, and then the start of ladder. Once that happens, I will most likely be jumping on multiplayer, but until then, I'll be playing on single player, because single player now can do ladder-only rune words, and that was one of the biggest gripes that I had with single player on Diablo 2, Lord of Destruction, was the fact that you couldn't make ladder-only rune words, and you couldn't get ladder-only drops in single player. Didn't make any sense to me. It never made sense to me in that. Why take away parts and aspects of the game? I mean, that essentially forced you to play on their servers, and let's be honest in that, back in the day, BattleNet servers and that, they were they were good, but they could have been way, way better. The whole doing this right here. Let's see here. We'll do here, and we'll leave. Okay? We're going to jump back into the game. Boom. We're back into the game right here, right? Taking a second. Servers are still having fun. People are probably playing the hell out of it right now. We leave the game, and then we're going to join the game again. We're going to make another game. So this is equivalent to leaving a game, making a game, leaving a game, making a game, so on and so forth. If you did that like 2-3 times that fast, you would actually get you would essentially get it to where cannot connect to server. And what that does is that basically treated you as somebody trying to brute force something or something along that lines, and it times you out. So it timed you out of BattleNet for anywhere from a minute to, I've seen it go as long as a couple hours, if not longer. So that's a big thing. I'm hoping that's not going to be part of it. I haven't noticed that be part of it, but with that happening, I also can see, so down here, you'll see where it says user has droid trade channel, and so on and so forth. That's annoying. That needs to go away. I don't care who joins the trade chat. I don't care who joins the world chat. I want to be able to click on here and it type to the map here. And I want to be able to also do maybe like a /P for party, to type the party if there's 2 different parties in the game or something like that. That's all I want to do here. This is also a nice feature too. It shows all your friends. No more doing /F list. Showing your friends on a list. That's really nice to be able to as well. However, You can't just double click to message them. Now, I'm sure that's going to be a feature in the future, and that, of course, they probably don't have that enabled, but I figured with them doing multiplayer, they would have had that active right now. Now, if they are actually in the game, I don't know if I can find... He's offline right now. But I could right-click, and at one point, I could click on Join Game, and it would actually take me to his game. I didn't actually get a chance to test that feature out because I was already in the game with him, and I honestly forgot about testing that. So that's another cool feature that's going to be in the game. So that'll be kind of nice, I believe, for just a quick join. That kind of brings it into like what Diablo 3 can do, how you can, on the main screen there, if your friends are playing that, you can click on it. As long as their game is open, you can jump in with them. So that makes that pretty easy and pretty good. Now, let's go ahead and talk about skills. The skills, the lightning. I don't think I have anything cold. I do have Ice Blast. Ice Blast, I feel like can be maybe a little bit bigger. No, maybe not. Okay, I guess that's not too terrible looking. I feel like Ice Blast should be maybe a little bit more cone shape in the front. Other than that, I think all the skills on the Sorceress looks really good right now so far from what I've seen. Now, of course, I can't say that I've seen a lot of it. Static Field looks pretty good. I actually have a lot of faster cast rate right now, so... let's see here. What else? Firebolt. I guess I could show that off. We could show that. Oh, another thing here, too. I'm so used to when there's no skill points in here. I'm still used to doing this after playing Diablo 2 for so long and still taking a break from it. I'm used to be able to click on it here and it would select it down here. That, honestly, I'd be okay if they brought that back. Because hitting S to go in here, I've never used S to really check out my skills. So you got Firebolt. Firebolt, just a smaller fireball, basically. Static Field, we already did that. Charge Bolt looks really good. It looks like it could be maybe a little bit whiter, but that still looks good for comparison to like what Lightning actually is as well. So as far as the actual looks of the game, the feel of the game when I'm playing it, aside from server lag, I think it's top notch. I think Blizzard and Vicarious Visions have done a phenomenal job on this. I'm excited, beyond excited, to actually be able to play the beta, as well as looking forward to the actual game coming out. As long as they take care of a bunch of the bugs that I came through and reported and all that stuff like that, as long as they address those bugs and they improve on the server connections and they improve on the latency that's in there, I think this is going to be a phenomenal hit. I think it's going to be one of the best remasters I've seen of other games. Now, I didn't pre-order, or I didn't actually buy Warcraft 3 Reforged because I knew that was their first go at remastering a game that I enjoyed. Now, StarCraft 2, of course, I believe in that, or StarCraft was, StarCraft 2, I think, was remastered, if I'm not mistaken. But Warcraft 3 was one that I played the crap out of as well when I wasn't playing Diablo 2, basically. So I held off on that when I seen that, so I'm glad I did, because that was basically a train wreck. That's pretty loud. Let's see here. Other things about it. You know what? Let's hop over to... Let's take a look at the other things in that. Okay, Paladin is level 27. Oh yeah, it'd be nice if I could double click on my character to enter the game. Let's go back over here. Load time-wise, load time screens and that are about the same as what they were in Diablo 2, which, given that this is running on top of Diablo 2 Classic, basically. Let's see here. So the Holy Fire aura does look pretty good. Resist Fire looks good. The Might aura is nice, a classic look, but that's all I've got on this guy right here. I didn't go through and check all the other ones in that. I did see the new updated Holy Freeze. Holy Freeze does look good now. Zeal works pretty well. Another cool features on that as well, I guess we can go over really quick. Advanced stats. You used to have to go through and do the math on this. You used to click on here and go, okay, that's got 15 magic find. This has got 9. This has got 27. By the way, I did find that. That is freaking... I just about shit myself when I actually found a freaking unique ring. I'm like, oh my god, because I've had it to where I've actually had an SOJ drop on normal. No, granted, it dropped off of Diablo or Bale, I think it was. But still, when I seen it, I'm like, holy crap. So, 27%, not bad. 3 off of perfect. Duriel dropped this for me. He was a gentleman and dropped me a nice offensive aura one. Yeah, so you used to have to go in here and do the math on everything. So there's 15, there's 9, there's 27, go through and make sure everything else doesn't have any magic find. But hey, now you can just hop in here and go, oh, let's see here. Hey, 51% magic find. Oh, 72% extra gold. That's nice. I'm happy they added this. This is something that is just really nice, and it's almost a staple in any kind of action RPG that's out now. So definitely a nice quality of life thing. But yeah, everything else. So like here for an example. Let's zoom on in the Paladin. He just looks so badass. And also the fact that the other thing I didn't mention is this. Just being able to see what your character looks like up close in all of his glory right there. Love it. I love it. It looks so good. The only thing I wish you could do is I wish you can click and drag and turn them around and spin them around. That would be kind of cool as well. The Druid looks phenomenal. Like, it looks freaking great. Even though we did kind of joke a little bit on stream saying that he did look like the like an older version of Braveheart, Mel Gibson, not Mel Brooks. I did make an Amazon and a Barbarian. He does look like Dave Bautista in a way. I definitely heard of it. I'm like, okay, we'll see. And I got into it, and yeah, he definitely does. They fixed the no longer looks like a crazy grandma, old granny anymore. Looks really good, really well. Let's go ahead and pop inside of here. I'll show off a couple skills in here real quick. Where am I at? I'm in Luke Lane. Let's go back to here because the lighting is probably going to be better anyways. Yeah. Lighting is a big thing in this game. Light radius. When you go inside of catacombs and when you go inside of the jail cell or any kind of cave, man, it is dark. Like dark. I'm not going to have Molten Boulder anymore, am I? So there is the werewolf. The werewolf looks really good compared to the little whatever that is. That looks terrifying. And the fact that it has a necklace, too. It has an amulet around its neck. Did you see that? Right there. That just looks so cool. Oh, unless that's just part of that. Maybe that's not an amulet. Maybe that's just like something hanging. I don't know. Kind of weird looking. Anyways, let's go ahead and let's get out of that. Let's go ahead and check out the werebear. Brr. He looks like a, nice bear. Yeah, that is just a, I guess it's part of the vest or something. Fire claws. The attacks really don't look that much different, to be honest. All right, let's pop out of that. Oh, I do have skills in here. Perfect. All right, Molten Boulder. That looks so freaking good. And then boom, fire. They did a phenomenal job with the fire in here. Firestorm is very impressive looking as well. Fissure looks good. But there are some graphic glitches with it, of course, on cliff sides and other things like that. So that's to be expected. They'll most likely fix that, or they won't fix it. Let's see here. What else do we have? Anything else? Oh yeah, Heart of the Wolverine. That's right. I switched this guy over to a shapeshifter, which was the biggest mistake. It's the reason why I don't play him anymore, because I should have kept him as a fissure druid to go do tombs. That's why he doesn't have his stealth armor and his belt on him anymore, because I took him away. I did find Hotspurs. Let's see here. Anything else? I think that's really about it. We could check out the Oak Sage. Oak Sage looks really good. Pretty cool looking dude. Carrion Vine. I don't have any mana. Holy crap. Oh, I can cast him now. Yay. So the Carrion Vine, of course. Nice little look inside of here. So yeah, overall, let's close out this video. I didn't want to really drag on and all that stuff like that. I just like showing off stuff because it's cool. Overall, my thoughts on Diablo 2 Resurrected after playing the beta for a few. Now I'll say a few, and then I played the past couple days of it straight through, basically. Very well done. I know it's just reskinning Diablo 2, so they didn't necessarily have to go through and reprogram a bunch of stuff, but they kind of did have to go through and change some things. They did a phenomenal job, I think, on this so far. This is very promising, very good looking. I know a lot of you guys in that are still, of course, upset about Blizzard and all the sexual allegations, as well as a bunch of other stuff like that, and trust me, I am as well. Blizzard being probably, well, like I said, Diablo 2 expansion and that, definitely one of my favorite games, bar none. And to see them go through this right here and all this crap like that, it does definitely hurt my childhood, essentially. But with that being said, this is essentially being restored and remastered, basically, and resurrected, by Vicarious Visions. And they've done a phenomenal job. I don't think, aside from remaking Diablo 2 from the ground up to where it's not, tile-based and stuff like that, and the way that it was originally made, if they redid it and made it, move it to like how Diablo 3 essentially operates and moves around in that, then it wouldn't feel like Diablo 2. So they did everything they could to do this, and I applaud them. It's great. It's phenomenal. With that being said, I'm definitely concerned that they took away the TCP IP address, or TCP IP party and play. That kind of gets rid of my idea of, I got a nice big desk here. I would love to bring a couple friends over in that, set them up around the desk right here. We all play and just have fun in that, not be connected to the servers, mess around, have fun, Now we can't. Now, granted, back in the day in that LAN parties were kind of needed because some friends didn't have internet. Some friends didn't have good internet. So the best way to do it without latency and that and play games like Halo and stuff like that, and Diablo 2 even, was to have some friends come over, set up some tables and chairs, join up and, play for 8 hours or whatever like that. That's no longer going to be the case now. So while I'm upset they got rid of it, because that gets rid of my idea of, hosting a big LAN party in the basement and just hanging out with friends, order some pizza, listen to music, play Diablo 2 Resurrected like the good old days. That ain't going to happen. It's kind of a bummer, but I understand why they did it. So I'm understanding in that sense, because there are still ways and exploits in the classic Diablo 2 and that utilize single player moving over in that to the online open BattleNet and then doing stuff like that. So I understand why they did it. I've come to terms with it. It's fine if they don't bring it back. I'd like to see them bring it back, especially just for the single player option, and then not have an open BattleNet. I think that'd be pretty easy to do, a pretty good compromise in my opinion. But that's okay. The other thing that they got to work on is the servers. Not a lot of people. I don't know how many people, I guess, in total are playing the beta at any given time in that right now. This is the closed beta. The open beta is going to be next weekend, starting up on Friday the 20th and going through the 22nd. They got to get these servers in the latency figured out quick. If it's this bad right now, especially after me watching Mr. Llama also play as well, shout out to him being the original D2 guy in that. I know for a fact he's got way more hours logged than me in that, and his knowledge is way, way, way crazier. But with that being said, I watched him play, and he died multiple times in that just to lag because he was in a party with somebody. Now, I played mainly single player. It wasn't up until last night that me and my buddy hopped on and played for about an hour or so. So I seen a lot more lag when there was people inside of the game with me than there was when I was playing solo. So that makes me lead to believe that once you get a game full of 8 people, and they're all, maybe not in normal mode, but maybe just past Act 4, Act 5, going into Nightmare, when all the sorceresses can teleport and all that crap like that, there's going to be a big issue with latency and a big issue with lag and stuff like that. So I'm hoping they get that figured out and they nip it real quick before it releases. That way we don't have little to, if any, downtime as far as server goes when the release happens. Outside of that, I can't think of anything too crazy major game breaking in that shouldn't show this up to be a pretty decent release. I'm of course still expecting the worst because let's face it, whenever a game comes out and it's a massive multiplayer type game like this, there's always server issues, there's always big exploits, there's always big yada 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 kind of crap, to where that's just how it's going to be. Deal with it for the first week while the devs and that go through and hound out all the issues, and then boom, there's a patch. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a patch followed by another patch day after day for the first week or two in that of release. I wouldn't be surprised. And that's the reason why I'm playing single player up until they finally say, okay, ladder's out. And even then I might still wait a little bit. So that's my overall thought. I guess the whole too long didn't read. It's great. I'm definitely going to be playing it when it comes out. I'm happy that I actually pre-ordered it so I could test out the beta before the open beta, before it gets too crazy chaotic, and see a lot of the different things about it what has changed. And yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. For those of you in that of course only watched me play 7 Days to Die and Ark and that, you guys probably didn't even make it this far in the video. That's completely fine. But if you guys did happen to watch it, and maybe you want to see me do some videos on that on Diablo 2 Resurrected, you know, maybe show some tips and tricks of my knowledge that I have on the game. Maybe that's what you guys want to see. And hey, you know, if you guys are new to the channel as well, and you guys are just popping on here because you're trying to watch everything Diablo 2 Resurrected related and that, welcome to the channel. If you want to subscribe, subscribe. I do a lot of survival games. I do play a lot of 7 Days to Die and Ark, as you see in my videos. I do some IRL stuff and that. I gotten into bike riding lately and that, so that's kind of another thing that I kind of just throw in there as well. I will most likely release some content on Diablo 2 Resurrected. However, I will probably be streaming that more so than doing recordings of it, just because of how long the game is and so on and so forth. Even though I do release relatively long, you know, episodes, like an hour or so long, I don't want to release, you know, a 4-hour episode on YouTube of me just walking around magic farming, you know. So anyways, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. Hopefully there's some information for you. And if you got any questions on that, let me know in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. And you know, yeah, click on that subscribe button, click on the like button, drop a comment, let me know what you thought. But guys, until next episode, take care and take it easy.